Welcome back to Football Heritage TV. If you're new around here, please subscribe, as we're only about 45 away from 23,000. Hit the notification bell so you know when I'm live, and also smash a like button so that other people can see that you've liked the content. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I think I'm going to say this until I'm in my grave. It's never, ever a dull day at Tottenham Hotspur. No transfer window, no problem. No games today, no problem. No new manager this week, no problem. No director of football going to jail, no problem. Because Tottenham Hotspur have unequivocally rejected an expression of interest to buy the football club. Now, we're going to get into it. I mean, listen, last night I was out and then I start seeing all this news of, oh my God, Sav, I get loads of, Sav, have you seen this? Have you seen that? Spurs, somebody's buying Tottenham. It's an American consortium of tech founders and NBA and NFL and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there going, oh, somebody else is trying to buy Tottenham. And in the background, all we're hearing the whole time is, Spurs are not for sale. That is the line. Spurs are not for sale. ENIC do not want to sell their stake in the football club. But people are trying. People are attempting without bids, but they're all putting in expressions of interests. You had the two that were rejected last week, and you had the one that was rejected yesterday stroke today. Now, we will get into it, but I do find the whole situation very funny because depending, as always, I try and sit on the fence in these situations. Depending on what side of the fence you sit on, depends how much credence you want to give these reports. And what do I mean by that? People who hate ENIC and leaving, I'm like, yes, we're being bought. Oh my God, billionaires. Oh my God, it's brilliant. People who are on the other side are a little bit more like, hang on, we've seen all this before. Hang on, are they going to be better owners than ENIC? Hang on, I don't believe any of this, yada, yada, yada. I'm just going to show you what I've seen and let you guys make your own minds up, right? Like, I'm not a financial expert. I am not a takeover expert. I have no idea of the ins and outs of buying a football club. I'm guessing it's complicated, especially when we're talking about figures that are £4 to £4.5 billion. So what do we know? Well, I'm going to show you the article from The Sun that came through because that was the one that was first sent to me. But this is the upshot of it, right? The upshot was major breaking news. A US consortium has launched a world record $4.5 billion takeover bid for Tottenham. They are offering $3.3 billion to buy out the entire club from owners ENIC and the Lewis family. And the proposed new owners are ready to set aside a further $1.2 billion for the player budget, including wages, fees, and agent payments, to be made available to Thomas Frank from the opening of the January window. Now, there's a lot to unpack in that statement, and we will. First and foremost, I think the bit that hits home, I think, for fans looking at this and getting excited is $1.2 billion for players. Oh my God, we're winning it all. We're buying everyone. We are going to buy the Lionel Messis and the Erling Haalands. And right. PSR is a thing. FFP is a thing. So that would be over a number of years. But let's move aside from that because I find that comment quite funny. I think the big thing here is that we're talking about a world record fee. Now, love him, hate him, don't feel any way about him. Wherever you sit on the whole Daniel Levy discussion, there is that element that says, well, hang on, he's built the club to allow us to get to this stage, so it couldn't have been all bad. Now, obviously, the people that don't like him are going to go, yeah, but the football success, and of course, I absolutely agree with that. But he must have done something right to get Tottenham to a point where we could be worth $4.5 billion on the open market. Now, let's caveat all of this by saying that ENIC apparently today have said, no, we are not for sale. Now, let me show you this, right? So this is what Ben Jacobs said, right? This is what Ben Jacobs has said. So if I bring that up, you will see there Oh, let's go back to that. There you go. If you see there, Ben Jacobs said this. This was what, I don't know, however many minutes ago, within the last hour, said breaking. Tottenham have unequivocally rejected. Unequivocally. I love the word unequivocally. Hate spelling it, but great word. We've unequivocally rejected an informal expression of interest. Now, that's really, really important. The difference between we've rejected the expression of interest, not a bid. Now, that is the bit where I think lots of people are going to get caught up on. No one has bid for Tottenham. They have made an expression of interest. Okay. Now, that's like me ringing you up and saying, in layman's terms, ringing up and going, I like your car. Would you sell it? No. Okay. You're not interested. That's different to me sending a message saying, I'll give you 50 grand for your car, right? There's a difference between I'm asking what's going on, would you be happy to sell, versus here's a bid. Now, this is from a consortium led by Brooklyn Eric. Now, Brooklyn Eric, we'll get into him in a minute. He's an interesting character from what I've been doing the research on him. But it says here, the board of the club and ENIC reconfirm that Tottenham Hotspur is not for sale and ENIC is not looking to sell its stake in the club. Now, we've had this conversation before. Not for sale, not looking to sell. Now, if you were for sale and looking to sell, you're not going to tell people. Could it be that we're really not for sale? Could it be that we're really not for sale? And we're all going, oh, well, when they hit a magic number. But what if they are not for sale? Then what if somebody does hit a magic number? What if someone expresses an interest and they go, here's 5 billion for Tottenham Hotspur? Does that then prick the ears of the owners and they go, yeah, 5 billion? Yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that. I don't know. I don't know. I know as much as you guys. I'm just here speculating. I don't know. But it goes on to say that Eric's consortium is required by no later than 5 p.m. on the 24th of October to either announce a firm intention to make an offer or announce that it does not intend to do so. Now, my understanding is that if they don't, this is only my understanding, that they then can't do anything for a further 6 months. So if they did want to bid, they would have to then wait a further 6 months. Might be off on that. Not an expert, just what I've heard. Don't know. So that's Ben Jacobs saying, hey, breaking news. It's rejected. The interest. We're not interested in your interest in us. Right? It's not asking a girl out and getting rejected, or a guy, whatever. I'm interested in you. I'm not interested in you. That's what this is. Okay. Now, is it that we're not interested right now, or we're not interested in what the number? Is it that we're not interested in who it is? I genuinely don't know. But then off the back of that, if we bring up this article, so again, this is from the Sun. This is one of the first articles that came out about this. You could see that this was published last night at 8:42. If you can see that in the left-hand corner, this was 8:42 last night. It says former DJ launched. I love that. Former DJ. Like it doesn't feel real, does it? Former DJ launches world record 4.5 billion Tottenham takeover bid and ready to fund huge January transfer spree. Don't know why I couldn't say the word January transfer spree. The US billionaire is understood to have started initial talks with the Spurs hierarchy, including ex-chairman Daniel Levy, some months ago. Now, when you read that, you're going to read on. It piques your interest, doesn't it? And here's what it said. And by the way, throughout this article, there are a lot of funny pictures of Brooklyn Eric. And he just looks like a normal down-to-earth guy, although we have to remember that the man is a billionaire. So it says here, a US consortium has launched a world record 4.5 billion takeover bid for Tottenham. Sun Sport can reveal tech entrepreneur Brooklyn Eric is heading a 12-man group that has lodged the stunning offer. So 12 individuals. So this is very much like Chelsea, right? And it'll get to that in the article. Very much like Chelsea, with a group of people headed up by Todd Boehly. So Todd Boehly, the face. Everybody else is putting in money with Todd Boehly, but Todd Boehly's the guy that it all stops and starts with him, right? So let's scroll down and see what the article is saying and pick out some meat on the bones. Here you go. So this is Brooklyn Eric. Some of his photos, you can see who he is. This guy could be the owner of Tottenham Hotspur. That guy could be the new owner of Tottenham Hotspur. Absolutely love it. It says here, Eric offering 3.5 to buy out the current owners. There he is, just having himself a little swig of beer. It says here, he used to be a DJ in New York and Ibiza. And it says here, he set aside 1.2 billion, but we'll get to that right now. It says Eric and his partners are offering 3.3 billion to buy the entire club from owners ENIC and the Lewis family. And the proposed new owners are ready to set aside a further 1.2 billion for the player budget. Now, player budget is very different to transfers, right? So that's wages, transfer fees, and agent payments. Don't forget how much agents get paid these days. And that's going to be made available, apparently, to Thomas Frank from the opening of the January window. The total package would exceed the 4.2 billion record for a football club paid by the Todd Bowley-led group that bought Chelsea in 2022, as we were just saying just now. And it says here that Eric has, who's 41, that makes me feel sick, billionaire at 41, fair play to the lad. Eric, who's 41, has assembled a consortium including NFL and NBA investors to back his vision for the North Londoners. I love this, his vision. What's his vision? Here we go. It says here, his Tottenham, this is sources. I love this, guys. Sources. You know, like, look, here we go. Sources close to the club. Love this picture. Sources close to the club. Get it? Brilliant. So sources have said his Tottenham 3.0 blueprint envisages a massive investment on the playing side to turn Spurs from pretenders to more than contenders. Well, that's winners, isn't it? If you're more than contenders, you're winners. Get him in. Get him in. Let's see what happens. It says, and he has also lined up a 250 million stadium naming rights deal. Busy, this guy, considering he doesn't own us. He's very busy. Something that was beyond Daniel Levy. Oh, little dig. Something that was beyond Daniel Levy for 6 years after the new ground was opened in 2019. A source close to Eric told Sunsport, Brooklyn and his team think everything is in place at Tottenham already. Spurs has a world-class stadium and training ground. The infrastructure is all in place. But with the investment they are ready to make, it will be the final step to turn this club into winners on the pitch as well. Eric is understood to have started initial discussion with the Spurs hierarchy, including Levy, some months ago. Here's some more nice photos. There he is, Brooklyn Eric. There he is. Looks different in every photo, doesn't he? There he is there on the cover of C magazine. Here he is. It looks like he's on holiday. There we go. There he is. Another photo of him. He looks different in every photo. And there we'll see that he used to work for NASA. So it goes on to say those talks have accelerated over the past 3 weeks since Levy's exit, with football figures believing the ousted executive was the impediment to a sale because of his desire to remain at the helm, even if a deal was done. Now, that's very interesting, right? Now, I don't know if this is true. I am reading what you're reading. I'm just giving my opinion. Maybe that was one of the reasons why he was asked to step down. Hey, yeah, I'll be part of selling the club and my shares in Tottenham, but I still want to be involved. And maybe any new owners coming in are going, no. We want a fresh start. We don't want you here, Daniel. We don't want you here. So this is an interesting one. And it says here, since Levy was forced out, ENIC and the Lewis family, with siblings Vivian and Charlie appearing in the director's box, have insisted they are not looking to sell, but instead bring success under their stewardship. Now, this is the frustrating thing for Spurs fans. Okay, if you are looking for success, ENIC, prove it. Get to the transfer windows and prove it. We've got the best-in-class training ground, best-in-class stadium, everything. The infrastructure is brilliant, best-in-class partnerships. Now, the last thing to do, ENIC, on the football pitch, prove it. It's words. At the moment, it's an empty shell with nothing inside it. Fill that shell. Tell us, show us, demonstrate to us that you can deliver long-term success. Not one trophy, deliver long-term success. It goes on to say, but the upfront offer is worth 20% more than the respected business magazine's Forbes 2.6 billion valuation of the club. Tottenham's stock exchange listing means any change of ownership would need to be agreed under takeover panel rules with a strict timetable followed. Goes on, so look at all these pictures. There he is. Look, Dejan. Here he is. Eric Dejan again. Says, but Eric, a colourful former DJ who also worked for NASA. I love this. This story is amazing. DJ worked for NASA. Now he makes his money, I believe, in crypto. Says, Eric, a colourful former DJ who worked for NASA, wants the deal to be completed and given Premier League approval by the start of December. This would allow an instant impact in the January transfer window. In 2016, Eric said, I spent the better part of a decade as a DJ and music producer. I've played shows all over the US, Canada, the Caribbean, and Europe, from LA to New York City to London to Ibiza. I'm very fortunate to have done that for as long as I did, but I was definitely burnt out towards the end. So I hung up the headphones, moved to San Francisco, and landed an internship at NASA as an electrical engineer in the small spacecraft division. This is brilliant. I love this. NASA is where I was first exposed to computer programming. I quickly realized how powerful it was. Loved the fact that if you had an idea, you could open your computer and start it right away. So I started taking online courses for both coding and design, reading books and brainstorming. Love this. I absolutely love this, right? So that's what it says, right? That's the guy that is trying to buy Tottenham Hotspur, right? With his consortium. If Spurs have rejected it, I tell you what, here's what I'll say. Reading all of that, as a fan, you get excited, don't you? Go, oh my God, this guy wants to win. This guy doesn't care about partner. This guy wants to win. This guy wants Premier League titles and Champions Leagues. This guy wants to buy the best players and pay the biggest wages. And as a fan, you can't help but go, yes. Then as a fan, you take a step back and go, is it all paper talk? Why won't Spurs sell? What are ENIC going to do? Because the question for me, this is only me, Savva, this is only me, is this. If ENIC are turning down things like this and then don't, if they're turning down the opportunity to sell to owners that want to pay 4.5 billion all in all, then what's their plan? If they turn that down and then we get to transfer windows and it's exactly the same as always, why? What is it that they're after? What is their long-term plan and success? What does a success plan look like for Tottenham Hotspur? I don't know. It's all these questions. Now, an expression of interest being rejected doesn't mean that a deal can't be done. But obviously now, Eric and his people will need to formally state what their intentions are. And we move from there. Now, do I believe it will happen? Listen, I'd love to believe it will happen. Now, some people will go, listen, I'm not really too bothered about this conversation, but people go, oh, I don't want US owners. I want Saudi owners and I want this money. I don't want this money. I want oil money. I don't want NFL owners and NBA. They've not done well in the league. And at the moment, I just find it a very interesting subject. So I'm just going to leave it with this. What are your thoughts on this? Is it a load of baloney? Is it a load of baloney? Is it the fact that people like Ben Jacobs are now coming out and saying, well, hang on, Spurs have unequivocally rejected an expression of interest, then it must be true. Sources close to the club say Lewis and the family have reiterated that they've got no desire to sell the club or their stake in the club. What do you believe? What do you want to happen? Would you like Eric? Do you know anything about him? I'm going to leave you with all of these questions. Guys and girls, I'll be back tomorrow. Spurs versus Wolves. I'll be live in the morning and then we'll be live in the evening for a watch along. Tottenham v Wolves. It's never a dull day, is it? It's been nothing but lively at Tottenham for years and years and years, for good, for bad, for ugly, for pretty. It's crazy. We wouldn't change it for any other team, would we? Listen, this is why we love Tottenham. It's why we love our club. Much love. Take care. please smash the like button. Please tickle the notification bell. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. Take care. Much love. And as always, come on, you Spurs.